Go ahead, guys.
Jump in. I didn't.
You're good.
We've been with him and Spieth, and what
You're
was the
good.
score, Max? Just
Green
being
two.
honest. How'd you play compared to yesterday?
Played great. Shot. I had no bogeys, probably 5 birdies, something like that. Played really nice.
You play a 72-hole tournament, and there's going to be one round typically where you're just not as sharp as the other ones. Do you worry about that more in match play?
I guess you do, because I got a little lucky yesterday looking at all the great play. I mean, if I would have played Cam Young, I guess everybody would have lost, but I would have lost on like the 12th hole probably. But I guess that's match play, and at times too, you have to remember that if someone's out of position, you might play it a little differently than you would in stroke play. I felt like we got in a good rhythm early, and it did feel kind of like a stroke play event today, which was nice, just because that's just more comfortable for us. But yeah, I was more proud of yesterday. If it was a stroke play tournament, I'd have been very proud of yesterday because I turned it into under par when it was not very good. Found some footing on the back nine, and then today I just played really solid today.
How'd you handle the wind? It was really gusted.
We handled a lot better than yesterday. I felt like yesterday we got the distance control wrong a lot more. I thought today we did a really good job of being patient. Joe was backing me off, making sure we were committed to the shot before we hit it. Really only got fooled once, and that was something to hold your head high on because it was very gusty.
Did you say it felt like stroke play today?
Just in our match, just because we weren't making bogeys.
Okay.
It kind of just felt like a round that you're playing. I mean, it still obviously is match play, but it just felt like because yesterday, the first hole I'm lagging a bogey putt down on one, immediately felt like match play, whereas or a par putt down on one, and then it just always felt like somebody was out of position yesterday, and you're like then saying, okay, well the pin's over here, but green's good, and then today we played really well to start, so it just felt like you were trying to make birdies, try to get going like you would a normal round, so it just felt more comfortable.
Feel good to be the guy who's played very well in this event at this golf course?
Yeah, it does. Kev's a really great golfer, obviously, but he is especially great when he gets in these head-to-head matchups. So he came out and was playing awesome, and I just tried to make sure I kept playing my game because it felt really good. And I just, my goal in these things typically when I'm playing like this is just to keep putting pressure on people not to make mistakes, because it felt like today I wasn't going to, and I thought I did a great job of that. And he gave me one on 11, and then all of a sudden it kind of just felt like a different match. So anytime you can beat Kev, he made this birdie on 14, that kind of is, Kevin Kisner. Like that was not an easy hole. He had a long way in, and he makes a very good birdie, and that's when you just kind of have to make sure you never really breathe. You're always kind of staying on your toes, and playing someone like Kev, who is really going to test you, it helps because you don't really ever get too far ahead of yourself.
Were you able to tune out the Kisner chatter today?
It was very quiet, so it got, we were talking quite a bit. He is a good friend of mine, so it was quite fun to be with him and his caddy Dewey, but once we turned to the back nine, it got very serious. So it was a good match. It was a lot of fun.
As far as match play competitors go, what would you rank Kisner as some folks you play?
He's got to be up there just knowing the record. But yeah, it's hard to say. Everybody out here is so darn good that it's hard to say. You play anybody for one day, it's very demanding. But I think just the way Kev putts and his demeanor, it's just he's so even keeled, and anytime he's on the green, it's going to at least take a peek, and that's something that I find quite concerning when you're playing matches. And he did that. He made a lot of great putts. I was fortunate he had 2 lip out, and yeah, anybody who can grind and kind of play mistake-free type golf like Kevin's always going to be difficult to beat.
Did the wind affect putting very much?
Yeah, we had. It's really just when you get out onto that lake. So the putts I had a weird putt on 12. That was the first one where I felt like it was really, it had it straight, but I played it a little left to right, and it's just a lot of guessing, especially because the greens are really, really slow. So that does not. We're kind of used to when they're fast, you know it's going to blow it. When they're slow like this, you're a little more tentative about whether or not it's going to do it. But it definitely was affecting it once you got out there where it's a little bit more exposed.
Jordan just lost today, and Rom lost yesterday, and Scotty's been scuffing a little bit. It just seemed like this is just a wide open tournament this year.
Always is. This is like I said, every single person that's in this field can beat anybody for a day. Obviously, someone like Scotty is very difficult to beat over 4 days, but I imagine, I mean, you have a chance if it's just for 1 day. But yeah, I think this is always wide open, and then once you get to the Sweet 16, it's kind of the hot hands, and you can kind of tell who's playing well, and obviously they've had great champions here, so it does come down to, I think, a consistent week, as a great stroke play event would be, but definitely the beginning feels a little bit uneasy.
Do you remember how mad you were when you got eliminated last year?
I was frustrated the second round because I had that match and I had a couple 3-putts, and there's one thing to get beat, and I just was frustrated that I felt like I didn't put up a great fight on the back 9. And then I had Dustin the next day, and he played awesome. So that was going to, always be a tough one. I mean, I fought better against Dustin and at least took him to 18, but the year prior I was the most frustrated just because I made it to a playoff with Billy and just missed a makeable putt on the first playoff hole and just had it very easy up and down the next one and didn't get up and down. Then he beat me on the 3rd hole. So that year I was a lot more frustrated. This thing it's hard to get real mad at yourself. I mean, like I said, I didn't play great yesterday and win. So if I play great today and lose, it's hard to really grind your teeth. But as long as you're not giving holes away, I'm not really too mad at myself.
Just about as slow as the greens have been
Yeah, they were.
you've ever seen here.
3, yeah, for sure. Here they were after the first 3 holes. Kevin and I were talking about it. I thought they were going to be quite a bit quicker today, but
Yeah.
I think tomorrow they'll get some life back in them. Thank y'all. Take care.